Another brick fan here with a look at a Harry Potter set. This is Hogwarts Astronomy Tower. This is set 75969, was released in August 2020, has 971 pieces, 8 minifigures, and cost about $100 when it was released. This set is definitely themed around the Half-Blood Prince in the sense that it has Professor Slughorn as the only adult minifigure that we get, and it has a setup for the Slug Club party that Harry, Hermione, and several others attended. It has the Astronomy Tower, which is where Malfoy and Dumbledore had their confrontation after Harry and Dumbledore got back from retrieving what they thought was a Horcrux. So a lot of good playability in this, and it is also set up to attach to the other large sets like the Whomping Willow, the Great Hall, and last year's Clocktower. So you can make a very large Hogwarts Castle kind of modular style in putting each of these together. Always good to get another one of those, and I like the fact that they're making them so they all fit together. Now that you've seen an overall look of the castle, I'd like to take a closer look at some of the areas that are in there, and we will also take a close look at all the minifigures here in just a few minutes. Looking here at the entryway, you see these nice tower columns here, a round window here up above the doorway there, a little bit of vegetation. There's kind of a pass-through on this side, so maybe a walkway of some kind where folks can walk underneath the astronomy tower. The front of the astronomy tower goes way up here, as you see, all the way to the tops of that tower with the sand green decorations on top of each of those sections there. And like many of the other Hogwarts elements, this is a dollhouse style, but let's take a look really quickly at the greenhouse. As I mentioned, it is modular, so we can pull the greenhouse off and we can pull the front off as well. So let's take a look at the greenhouse really quickly here. So taking a look at the greenhouse, I like how they did this roof. It just sits on top here. It's not connected. So we just made a 90-degree angle here with this angled piece. Put the windows on it, these little dragon pieces here in the pearl gold, and it just rests right on top there and gives it that nice roof effect. Inside we have several pots of mandrakes. Get one out of there. These are more mature mandrakes. The more mature mandrake there, and there are 4 pots of those. There's a little clip here with a set of scissors. Doorway here. There's some ivy growing on the outside with this little blue flower, which I thought looks pretty nice. Here is the glass doorway that is the entrance into the greenhouse with the use of this silver stud as the doorknob, another one of these blue flower pieces here. Moving on to the kind of main entryway here into this area. As you can see, there's these attachment points right here, so you can attach it in different ways. So I had the greenhouse on this side and the tower on this side, which is the way the instructions show it. You see inside they have this nice chandelier here, and then this is set up as the potions class, which has a couple of desks here with some different potions in here. This is a nice little piece here. As you can see, this little cylinder has a dragonfly printed on it, and it's done in this nice trans blue. So that was a nice little touch and a subtle detail inside. They are using these little ball pieces here, like an ice cream scoop or a popcorn, as the bubbling potions inside the cauldrons. A couple of minifigure heads done in these trans red and blue colors, with one of the stud, or with it, this is the stud with a post instead of a regular piece, so that's widely used nowadays. Interesting how they did the candles in 3 different ways here. You can see they have a standard candle piece, one just in that stud with a post on it, and this one has an additional stud in it to give it 3 different levels of candles into the chandelier. So that was kind of nicely done as well. Let's take a look at the astronomy tower. Turning this tower around, let's take a look at the first floor. Here we have, like I said, that pass-through. People could walk under. Then there's what it looks kind of like a plant, perhaps. It has these large pumpkin pieces done in the red with the gold underneath. You see these also used in some of the Chinese-themed sets. So I think those look really good. Let's move up slightly and take a look here at, you see this little work area here where we're using these clips, and once again these stud with a post on it in clear to indicate a light. There's a kind of a desk here, a chair, some books in the back. So I think this is Slughorn's office, perhaps, up here. And then moving up a little bit higher. Up here on the 3rd level is the Ravenclaw sleeping area. So you see that's all done in this nice dark blue coloring. You see the Ravenclaw banner just barely back there. If we tilt it just a little bit, you can see the Ravenclaw banner. A little desk with a quill on it, then a closet here. This closet's on a hinge, mostly to make that angle, but it allows for you to maybe put something back behind that closet if you wanted to hide it in there. Moving up to the top level, there's a couple different things going on in here. So here we have a globe device, it looks like, with a couple of different rings on it. So this was cleverly put together, I thought. It does rotate around so that you can see it from all angles. I like the use of the silver ball here in the middle and then the hoops around it. This is a soft rubber hoop here, so you kind of have to manipulate it to get it centered there. And then in the very top, we have a scroll here that I thought was done quite well with these white. It's a 1x2 with a hole in it, and then you use the pearl gold studs on either end to make it look like a scroll. And then there's a sticker here on a 2x2 tile, and then there's this telescope that is built up nicely with some gems here to use as lenses, which also turned out quite nicely in my opinion. Looking at the top of this, you see in the front here, there are several stickers indicating some bricks. And then as we move down, you see there's that very narrow tower or piece there along the side, the windows with the grills in them, and then all the way back down to where we had that pass-through. Let's go ahead and take a moment to look at all the minifigures that are included with this set. As I mentioned in the beginning, this set comes with 8 minifigures. These include Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley, Lavender Brown, Luna Lovegood, Neville Longbottom, Draco Malfoy, and Horace Slughorn, or Professor Slughorn. So let's start with Harry, Hermione, and Ron. As you can see, they're all dressed up, ready to attend Slughorn's party. Harry, of course, has the red shirt with a tie and then a vest, and it looks like these long black robes over the top. The printing looks like it matches up quite well on his legs, which I think it looks really good there. His hairstyle is a little different than it was in some of the other sets from this wave. It doesn't have the part here that shows off his scar, but it is still there. Hermione's got her hair back in this kind of princess hairstyle. We'll take a look at what that looks like in the back in just a moment. She's wearing this nice pink dress, and once again, her legs match up. The printing matches up quite nicely here. And she does have this silver for her shoes, which I like a lot. Ron, of course, has his standard red hair. It's all swept off to one side. The teal shirt with some patterning on it here. And then it looks like kind of Not sure if that's a collar in brown. It looks like it's a collar in brown with a couple of buttons there. The sand blue pants here. Moving around the figures, you see Hermione's printing does go all the way around here. So these are dual molded legs, it looks like. For her, here's that princess hair I was talking about. Ron continues that printing in the back as well as Harry. As for alternate faces go, here's Harry and then Hermione and Ron's alternate expressions. So all three have alternate expressions here. So let's take a look at the next three minifigures. Next up we have Luna Lovegood, Lavender Brown, and then Neville Longbottom. As you can see, Neville is dressed up as a server, so he got to Slughorn's party by either volunteering or perhaps even getting paid to serve drinks during the party. So we'll get that out of the way. Luna's wearing this nice purple dress, it looks like. A lot of good detailing here with some different patterns, and I think it moves down her legs pretty well. Looks like she has dual molded legs here with black on the bottom, so she's wearing, looks like boots with her dress, which is a nice fashion choice there. Again, the long blonde hair she normally has. Lavender is wearing a pink shirt here with a silver necklace, and then she has the purple pants. She also has this softer material headpiece that has a couple of post holes in it, so you can put those accessories on in her hair. We'll see one here. She's wearing a bow in the back. Once again, here's Neville with the black pants and the white shirt here, dressed as a waiter. Moving around the figures here, you see that really long hair of Luna's long hair there. And then here is Lavender, and she's got a ribbon in the back of her hair. So there are two post holes. There's one in the back here and one on the top. So this is a nice hair piece. Perhaps it comes from the Friends line, because they tend to do a lot of that in Friends. Let's turn the hair pieces around so you can get a look at the alternate expressions on these figures. So here's Luna, and then Lavender, and here is Neville with a nice smile on his face. Back printing continues. So Lavender has the hearts here on the back of her pink blouse. And then you can see more of the detailing here on Luna's dress. And then you see the definite dual molding of her legs. So let's take a look at our last two minifigures. Last up we have Draco Malfoy and Professor Slughorn. Draco looks a little older to me. Doesn't quite look like a teenager in this, but he is wearing his Slytherin robes. You can see with a green trim on the inside of the robe there, and then a little bit of his tie there. Professor Slughorn here, as you see, he's got the gray hair, the nougat colored jacket here, all very fancy in the middle with a gold trim, gold chains. He's obviously very dressed up, ready for his party. Looking around the backs of the figures, you see the hood here from Draco's robes, the back of the very dress robes here of Professor Slughorn as well. Alternate expressions here. Kind of a neutral look on Draco, and then maybe a little concerned look here for Professor Slughorn. Let's go ahead and go back, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. Before I give you my final thoughts, I wanted to focus on a couple of other accessories that came with this set. So if you look here, we have a couple of different things. This is the new mold for Hedwig with her wings open. So it looks like she's in flight. So that, I think, is nicely done there. This is a table done in this nice red color with the brown accents. But as you can see, this is used in Slughorn's party. So there's all kinds of different food items here. There's some maybe chocolate ice creams here, a chocolate fountain, there's some waffles, goblets of course, and then on this side are other pastries over here. So that's a nice little table that goes in with Slughorn's party. And then there are 2 books that come with this. One of them is for potions. So you see that nice cover of that book. That's a sticker. And then inside of that is another sticker that just shows some representation of writing. And then this, of course, is the Astronomy Tower. So here's the astronomy book. Once again, a sticker. And the same sticker that was used in the potions book. But nice to get those 2 books to go with this set as well. So there we have the complete Astronomy Tower set. At $100 and 971 pieces, it's just under that golden 10-cent per piece level. However, there is 8 minifigures in here, and I usually count those as between $4 and $5 a piece, so I think that adds a lot to the value of this set. A couple of other things that I think make it really nice is the fact that it is a little bit modular, so it has those Technic pins, so you can rearrange it a little bit and put it in the configuration you want and attach it to the sets that were released in prior years, making it very useful. It does fit with a couple of different themes. You have the Astronomy Tower in here, and then you have Slughorn's Potions class, and the Slug Club Party can all be represented here. So lots of good playability if you enjoy the Harry Potter universe. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Harry Potter set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to my Harry Potter review playlist up here on the screen.